Hi everybody, welcome to Happy Hour by Serve Neat. This is Anthony and I'm today here by Kiara. And she's going to tell us a story, how she got from, I guess, from your previous music experience to where you're at now. Right? So you had some trials and tribulations there, right? And I guess I'll let you go get into the story. But before we do that, please check out Southside Martial Arts Center. If you want to get fit, learn some MMA like kickboxing, Jiu Jitsu, they teach you all of that over there. So go ahead, tell us the story. So
I started doing music and I met this guy and he was just like amazing. Like he was very supportive, always there for me, always listening, handsome, just everything that a woman could think of. And very supportive of my music. You know, he took me around to different cities with him, doing different things with him. And you know, we fell in love, like head over heels in love. Now there was only one problem, and although it was one problem, it was one really big problem. I was married and he had a fiance.
So it's pretty much already two different relationships, you and your relationship and then him and his relationship, and then y'all kind of met each other at it was a concert, or was it?
It was an event. We both were performing it. I performed and got off stage and he came up to me and he was like, you know, he thought I would be a good look for his production company. Well, he's the CEO of Young World.
Okay, so Young World, and then what kind of music does he represents, or what kind of music does he produce?
Well, he's a hip hop artist, and he doesn't actually produce music. He produces artists, so and he does a wide variety of artists, any genre, just as long as he feels that they're hot, have a great sound, and he can market them well. He'll utilize anybody in any genre.
Okay, nice. And then so he saw you perform, really liked you. What happened next?
I don't know really what happened next. We started going to different cities and performing everywhere. We kind of like, I don't know, a relationship formed. I don't know where or how it started. It started. Like, we started talking more on the phone, being around each other more. It was more of us, you know, even like when we were in different cities, we were more so the couple, and, you know, it just became us. I don't really know.
And at that point, you were still technically married, right? What was your mind frame at that point?
I knew that it wasn't right morally, and I wasn't raised that way, and I wanted to do the morally right thing. So I put my big girl panties on and I went to my husband and I told him what had been transpiring between us, because you know, he didn't even know that he was the reason I was doing so many shows, because at that time I was an independent artist. So in his mind, he was under the assumption that, you know, I was getting and doing all of this, but really it was him, the CEO. So I went and I told him, you know, everything in hopes that would stop it, you know, or kind of like just, you know, halt it, because I just knew it was wrong for me on both parts as a woman, spiritually, just everything. It was just wrong.
You told your husband, and then what really were your next step? To continue the music thing, or did you want to focus more on the married part of your life?
No, I continued to do my music, and not even continue and doing my music. I kind of used that. I just continued to support him.
Okay.
It got even more intense, and of course I came to the realization that, okay, I don't really want to be in my marriage, because I got married young and, you know, went through a lot of things in life, molestation, suicide, depression, got married out of spite and out of proving a point,
right.
Which was wrong, but not to say I didn't love him at some point, but you know, it was me thinking that I was wrong, but I really didn't know. I just didn't know, and I realized that I didn't know once my CEO came in, and I realized, like, okay, this is who I'm in love with. So I don't know. Kind of weird to say that, it's real.
All right, so at this point we're kind of back with the CEO. But for a while, you also stopped making music, right?
I completely stopped music. I began to support my CEO, because he's an artist as well. I wanted to be more so of his support system, so I kind of stopped doing music, stopped modeling, stopped kind of everything, because I wanted to be more of a supporter.
Right.
So yeah, I stopped for a long while actually.
How long did you stop for?
About 2 years, and then when I was getting ready to dive back in, my stepdad died February 2nd, and then my mom died February 10th, and that took me through a whole tailspin. I had just had my very first child, then found out that I was pregnant again, so I kind of lost everything at that point. My drive, my everything, it definitely went to the back of my mind, and I started going through more things. I ended up being homeless. Just a lot of things transpired during that time.
Gotcha. And then do you think in the end music helped bring you back out of that?
Trial.
Correct.
Yeah, it did. It gave me back my voice. When I initially started, I began rapping. I can also sing, but I contributed my singing to when I used to get molested. I would sing to kind of like keep from remembering or knowing what was going on. So I would take myself into another world and I would sing in order to not think about what was happening to me. And so as I got older, I didn't like to sing because that was contributed to my molestation.
Right.
So of course I didn't want to sing. So I came out rapping, and I was this really hard rapper, and I was talking about peeing on hoes, excuse my language, but you know, just really a rough and rugged me. And this time around I'm coming out and it's with my singing.
Okay, so the music changed for you. It was from being this kind of hardcore kind of persona to now as more uplifting. What kind of genre would you put your music in now?
I actually, I wouldn't put it in any genre. It's just me. It's me singing breaks a curse that was placed on me, and it solidifies that I'm coming out of whatever it is that I went through, whatever it is that happened to me. I refuse to allow that to break me or take away what God gave me, which is a gift. And so with me singing, it takes me to another level because it's a thing for me to know that nothing can stop me. It doesn't matter what trial or what tribulation that I go through, nothing can stop me, and my voice will be heard. So I wouldn't quite put it in a genre. People can put it in whatever genre they want to,
right.
But I don't put it in any genre. It's just me. It's just my journey. It's my voice. It's me. It's raw. It's me.
Now, do you still do any kind of rapping, or do you just do the singing?
No, I still rap. That's a part of me, you know.
Okay.
I feel like on your journey with anything in life, what you pick up is supposed to be utilized for something.
Right.
And even, you know, in one of my songs, it'll be a battle between me rapping and me singing, and that's the rough part of me. Like, nah, bump that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to. And then the softer side of me, like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I don't have to put up this persona. I don't have to put up this facade. It's okay for me to be me. So I can't wait for that to drop. You know, I'm using both of them because that's me.
Right.
Those are my gifts.
And then, are you gonna have like a single first? Are you gonna do the whole mixtape?
No, I'm gonna do a single. We haven't decided on my single because, you know, I want to get my CEO and a couple more people, you know, to kind of see, because I don't want to put my favorite song out because it's my favorite. I want, you know, of course you need other people's opinions, you know, so we do kind of have the single. The first song is coming out, which is My Heart. So yeah, kind of.
What is that song about?
It's about a man constantly playing with. It's very simple, about playing with your heart, you know, going through tribulations, trials. It's a simple song, so the visual will be dope, I hope.
I assume that you take a lot of the ideas that you get from the song from your personal life, or just, you know, experience that you have and see from other people, that all goes into your song and creating those songs.
Yeah, especially my own personal. It's a big reflection of who I am, because I've been through so much in life, and you know, I used to not know what to do with all of that, and now it's like, oh, I know, let's put this in a song, let's put that in a song, let's do a song about that.
When you make songs, do you have an idea and then write it down really fast? Do you wait until like at the end of the day and write it down, or what's your steps for making these songs? Or do you wake up, like have a dream, like, oh, this is gonna be a dope song, let me write it down? Because if it's me, if I have a dream or I wake up, by the time like I get going, it's gone already. So
yeah. Well, for me, it's like that moment. When it comes to my music, I'm more of a at the moment. So if I'm going through something at that moment, or my kids could even be doing something, it'll remind me of something. I'm like, oh, I got something to do. So it's just whatever triggers that creative part of me, and I'll just start writing right then.
Besides the music, what were some of the other things that got you out of the depression that you had? What are some other things that you did that got you out of that?
My children,
Okay.
they are a different part of me. My first daughter, I had went through a lot of things that I never thought that I would experience, and so with her, it was as if she had chiseled ice off my heart, because I felt like I kind of had become heartless. And then with my second daughter, I had her during the time I lost my mom and my father and my home and even my mind, and so I felt like me being pregnant with her, had I not, I probably would have died with them, and I probably would have went crazy. But she was my strength baby to keep me strong and to keep me going. So they represent two different things for me, and they really brought me out of it, because I had to realize, like, you know, my mom, one thing about her, that was a strong woman, and she beat cancer, two different types of cancer, heart problems, and she kept going regardless of her circumstances. And so I feel like she placed that inside of me. And so once I looked at those two little girls, they became not only my strength, but my love and my peace to go on. And I contributed to God giving them to me, because He gave them to me at the very time that I needed them.
What would you say to your kids 30 years from now? If they would see this video 30 years from now, what would you say to them?
I would tell them to never give up, to always believe in themselves, to always trust in God, that regardless of how hard it gets, that life won't throw you a circumstance that God can't pull you out of. I would tell them that they are beautiful and loved, and that no matter what, they're called and they're strong women, and that God has a reason and a season for everything for them, and that I love them, and I'm going to fight hard even long after I'm gone to make sure they're okay.
Okay, so skipping ahead now for us too, where do you see yourself in a year and even 5 years from now?
I've been thinking about that since I was asked that the first time. Of course, with being in school for being a paralegal, I want to finish that, but I also want to start for women, girls, even men. But you know, I'm a woman, so you know, I don't know how it is to be a man, so I would probably have to link up with a man and figure out that part. But as a woman, you know, have classes and teach women about coming out of circumstances and how to like a little camp, teaching girls how to become women, having classes about different things that you just don't learn in like today, like
etiquette that they used to have in school, but now not
they don't anymore. Yeah, etiquette, even learning different languages, accounting, even things like that, periods. Like girls nowadays, because people make stuff so nasty nowadays, and if you're not perfect or whatever, you know, people, they're not teaching anymore. You know, it's just like, oh, you got to be this way or there's no way, you know. And I want to teach women that it's okay to fall. It's okay not to have $300 weeks. It's okay not to have $500 purses. It's okay if you struggle, because that's what makes you beautiful. When you put pressure down, that brings about a diamond, you know. And diamonds have different facets. So you may not feel like at that time you're whatever, but diamonds have different facets. So regardless, you're always gonna shine, you know, and even those dark places shine light. And that's just like with the butterfly. Before a butterfly becomes a butterfly, it's a caterpillar. And I'm sure that caterpillar goes around, and it sees all these butterflies and never thinks that it'll become a butterfly. And it's not until it's in this cocoon, which is tight and probably uncomfortable and dark, something they've never been in. And it's not until they shift and have to break that cocoon, which is this dark place, in order to become that beautiful butterfly. So you have to go through transition in order to become better. So trial and tribulation is good, you know, and I want to teach other women and girls that it's okay to go through something. Everybody's not perfect. I don't care what people say. The world is just not perfect, no matter how they try to portray it.
So if somebody wants to get in contact with you or listen to your music, where would they go? Where would they check it out and once it's out?
Oh, once it's out, you can get on YouTube, Young World. It'll be on Pretti Agape, which is my stage name. You can hit me on Facebook, which is Kiara Trabue, Instagram, Pretti Agape, Twitter, Pretti Agape, and any other things, it'll be on those sites as well.
Okay, and then when did you say you're trying to release? We don't have a set date yet, right? Or-
No. Just a kind of like a dummy date, which is June 15th, which is to push me to keep going. So that's the date we're hoping for.
June 15th.
June 15th.
Okay, awesome. And then I do have a question with all these music videos that you're gonna do. Can I be in one of the music videos?
Yes!
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
There we go. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on Happy Hour. Remember, like and subscribe our videos. We'll have links for everything down below to get to her page also and everything. But otherwise than that, thanks for watching.
Hi guys, thank you.
You play with my soul, you play with my mind, you play with my heart, and now I'm done. I kept staying and you kept playing games with my heart. And if I kept staying, but you kept playing games with my heart.